everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have been having so much fun making these gorgeous tote bags with all these different beach sayings on them. This one says beach days are the best days, and then I have also made this one which is beach life, and this one is the one I'm going to be sharing with you today and showing you how to make, and that is high tides and good vibes. All of these images are from Cricut Access, so if you have Cricut Access subscription you'll definitely be able to get them. If you don't, I think they'll be on there for a small fee if you want to purchase them as a one-time thing. Or don't forget, you can get a 30-day free trial on Cricut Access and you would be able to access these images then. So this one I've done using a glitter HTV from GM Crafts. It was out of a mystery box. In fact, all of these glitters that I've used were from the same mystery box, and I love the glitter HTV from GM Crafts. It works so well, it weeds really easily, it goes on nicely with an easy press or an iron. It doesn't matter if you've only got an iron, just don't use the steam function on it and you'll be fine. And I highly recommend this from GM Crafts. I'll link everything that I've used down below. These are two different tote bags from different places, Hobbycraft and MDP Supplies, but of course you don't need to use the MDP Supplies ones. If you want to use a Hobbycraft one, you can. So let's jump straight into Design Space and get started. So I'm just here in Design Space and I've actually chosen my image already, but to do that just go to Images and then I've just typed in beach into the search box, and the image that I've got on the screen is this High Tides Good Vibes one. And to find the other ones that are associated with it, I just clicked on View Image Sets and it brings up all of these other different ones, and there's quite a few here. The Beach Days Are the Best Days one that I did for the other tote bag as well. So I'm just going to grab this High Tides Good Vibes one, and I'm just going to resize it to the size that I want it to be for my tote bag. Of course that will differ dependent on the size of your bag as well. So when I'm using a heat transfer vinyl, I like to flip it on the screen. So just go up to the flip button and choose flip horizontally, and then it mirrors the image on the canvas, and I prefer to do that purely because when it goes through to the Make It screen, you're looking at a lot of other bits of information. It's really easy to overlook the mirror setting and forget to do it and then be annoyed because you wasted your vinyl. So I'm just going to choose the glitter iron-on setting from here, and when we go through now, it tells us to make sure that it's shiny side down and that the mirror is already set, but we've already done that on the canvas so we don't need to worry. So this is the tote bag that I'm going to be using for this High Tides image, and I'm just going to measure it now. So it's quite a big one, it's 47 centimetres across, and the depth on it is about 37, so it's a good size. So the piece of HTV that I think I'm going to use is about 20 centimetres wide, so I'm just going to double check that that's going to be big enough. So it's going to come across to about there, and then it's about 19 centimetres tall, so it's going to fill a good space on this tote bag. And the two colours of HTV that I've got for this are this like really nice turquoisey glitter, and I've also got this blue one. I thought maybe this one might be better. I think this one's more sort of ocean-like, so I'm going to give this one a go. So this HTV is from GM Crafts. It's their Fabric Series glitter, and I got this actually in a mystery box, and it came with about 10 or 15 different rolls of this. They're not massive rolls, but I have used this before on a couple of hoodies and stuff, and it washes really well, and I've not had anything peel off, which is good. So it is a easy weed 15-second press, and it's a warm peel as you can see there, so it's a good easy one to work with. So let's work out our sizing. So our image is about, let's say 19.5 by 19, so it's a good size. So let's just pop down. Actually, so I'm going to show you the differences with the HTV. So you can see this is quite shiny, but it's not as shiny as the other side. Okay, and the other side is the carrier sheet, so this needs to be face down. So it's actually telling us on the screen to make sure that the mirror is turned on and the iron-on material is face shiny side in brackets down, and that is this side. You want your carrier sheet face down. So let's just pop that on there now. And this piece is going to be big enough, definitely. I'm actually going to pop it a little bit over, because I've noticed for some reason since the last update my machine's been cutting a little bit high. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of extra leeway. And I'm going to leave the additional piece of HTV on the bottom so that I can just cut it off exactly where it ends. I'm going to use my brayer just to give this a really good press down and make sure it's really well adhered to the mat. And then it's time to go. So let's pop this onto the machine and cut it out, and I'll be back in a jiffy. Alright, so it's cut really nicely, and I can see roughly where it is that I need to weed out. So I'm going to try and cut off the bottom piece so that I'm not wasting any of my vinyl, because it's a lovely vinyl and I'd like to use as much of it as I can, really. So I'm just going to refer back to my design on the screen so that I can see where it ends. And it's about there. So let's just cut that off with my knife here. Okay. Got all this extra now that I can use on another project. Right then, so now for this I like to use my pin pen weeding tool. On the end of my pin pen you can see it's got a really fine point to it, and for HTV I find this to be the best weeding tool. I am also probably going to use my regular Cricut one as well, but this is a good one. So I'm just going to lift the corner first of all and pull it back. I should get the majority of this off in one go. If it doesn't pull out, then I'll just give it another extra helping hand. So I'm just going to weed all this and then I'll be back. Okay, so next we need to get it off of the mat. So as usual, flip it over and peel back your mat and just pull your mat away from your design. There we go. And I'm going to turn this mat upside down so that you can see it. There we go. Oh, it would appear I've lost a splosh there, but I don't think you'll notice that because there's still only two on this side. So that is our design, and that's the reason why we mirror it. So now when we place it down on our tote bag, it's going to be the right way around so you can read it. Whereas if you didn't mirror it on your screen, it'd be like this, and then of course it's going to make no sense whatsoever. So now we're ready to pop this onto the tote bag using either a household iron, or I am going to use my Easy Press. So here's my Easy Press. It's just heating up now. I've set it to 160 degrees Celsius and 15 seconds on the time. I'm just going to move it over a little bit, and here is my Easy Press mat that I'm going to be doing the heating on. So I've got my tote bag, here it is, and what I need to do, what I'm going to do is give this a little press. Once the Easy Press has warmed up nicely, just going to iron out all of the creases and stuff that are in this bag already. So let's just wait for the Easy Press to warm up. There we go. That noise means that it's ready. So I'm not going to set the timer off or anything like that. I'm just going to give it a little run over my tote bag. Definitely recommended to pre-warm the fabric that you're going to be using your HTV on, because it can have moisture in it and it can inhibit the sticking of the vinyl to your material. So just give it a good warm up before you get going. I'm just going to fold this now. I'm just going to fold it up to the seam along the top of my bag there, and then I'm going to fold it in half again, and this is just going to enable me to find the centre of my bag, and I'm going to just give that a little press now on the seam just to create a crease that's going to show me the centre lines, so I'll have a nice cross on my bag when I open it back out now, hopefully. There we go. So that is the centre of my bag right there. So if I look on my screen now, I can see that the centre of this design is denoted by this cross here, and it's just on the bottom of the D. So that is going to be approximately there. Okay, so we know roughly where the centre is. It won't make too much difference if it's very, very slightly out. So this is still warm. It's a good idea to preheat just to make sure that there's no moisture on your material. And we can just use these lines now to make sure it's nice and straight as well. So let's just find the centre there. I just want to move over a little bit more. Okay, just make sure there's no little bits of weeding stuck to it, because it will all stick down when you press down on it. So I'm just going to check my instructions that come with this HTV. So it is an easy weed, it's 15 seconds press, medium pressure. So with an easy press, just press down with it with your own weight and it should be fine. Okay, so 160 and it's warm peel. So let's give it a go. So just pop your easy press over your design. Press the green Cricut button, which is similar to what you've got on your cutting machine, and the timer will start to count down. I'm just pressing down with as much pressure as I can. Okay, so let's lift that off, pop it back onto the stand. I'm going to just flip over my bag. Make sure it's on the mat again, and do the same on the other side. 15 seconds at 160 and just press down. Okay, that's done. So let's flip it back over. So this is a warm peel. Right now it's really, really hot, so it's a good idea to leave it for a few seconds just to cool down slightly before you start trying to peel it off. If you start trying to peel it off straight away, it is just going to lift up because it's not designed to be lifted straight away. I am going to use some tweezers to start it off with in case it's hot, because I don't want to burn myself. So let's just peel it back slowly. And it's stuck beautifully. To be honest, on the camera it doesn't really do it justice. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's so shiny and glittery, it's just beautiful. So I'm hoping to get on holiday this summer at some point. So if we do, this is going to be my beach bag. So there we go, that's how you make a tote bag. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd love to see you again for the next one. So please don't forget to subscribe, drop me a like. If you've got any questions, pop them down below in the comments and I will do my best to reply to them as soon as possible. So all that is left to be said is have a great week, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye!